This is Abby of TinyMessyKitchen.com, and today I'm going to teach you how to make these Angry Oreo cookie bars. They include these Swedish Fish Special Edition Oreos, which are only available for a limited time, and a little bit of red food dye. In order to make this recipe, you will need 2/3 cup of butter, 2 cups of brown sugar, 2 1/4 teaspoons of baking powder, teaspoon of salt, a 1/2 cup of chocolate chips. I'm using dark chocolate chips, but you can use milk chocolate or white chocolate, whichever you prefer. A couple of drops of red food coloring. I'm using gel food dye. Color is red from AmeriColor, but you can use any food coloring you can find. And that's just going to give us the angry part of the Angry Oreo cookie bars. 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 3 eggs, and the secret ingredient is Swedish Fish Oreos. These are limited edition and they can only be found at Kroger stores, so I picked these up at my local Kroger, but if you can't find those, regular Oreos will work just fine. And also 2 1/2 cups of flour. Let's go to work. Okay, so we're going to start by creaming the brown sugar and butter together. So you pour the brown sugar into the butter, and I'm going to cream it with a mixer for about 2 minutes, just until it gets light and fluffy. Alright, now that the brown sugar and butter are well combined, I'm going to add the vanilla and my 3 eggs and then mix it again. Alright, now that the eggs and the vanilla have been combined, you're going to take your flour and add your baking powder and your salt, and then we'll just shake that up a little bit so that it gets semi-incorporated. We'll dump in just a little bit at a time. So I would say maybe about half. Alright, let's say that's good. And we'll mix it again. Once you're ready to add the rest of your flour, make sure you take a rubber scraper and go around there. Just make sure you don't miss any flour there. And then add in the rest of your flour. And before this is ready to go, to add in some of our chocolate chips and Oreos, I'm going to add the red food dye. And now remember, this is the red AmeriColor food dye. So you just add a few drops of this and we'll see how red it turns after just a few drops. So I'm only going to do about 2 or 3 of these first, see how dark it gets, and if we need more, then we'll add more. Now, because we added in that red food dye, I'm going to stir it with my rubber scraper again just for a few times around, just to make sure it's incorporated fully. I think I'm going to add more food coloring to this though, because that looks more peachy instead of red like I really want. So I think I'm going to add some more. Once it gets to the desired color of red that you want, you can put it off to the side. Alright, so now that we have our red dough off to the side, we need to crush our red Oreos. Remember, these are Swedish Fish flavored Oreos, so ooh, they smell just like Swedish fish. And they're supposed to be artificially cherry flavored, sort of, so you need 12 of these to put these in the bag. Now it's on to the fun part. These you just get to eat for later, but these you get to crush up. You want to crush these Oreos until they're about bite-sized pieces. They don't need to be completely crushed into crumbs, so I think that's good enough right there. And then we will fold these and our chocolate chips into our batter. and your chocolate chips. And you're going to fold it instead of beat it, because if you beat it in with your hand mixer, then it could crush some of the Oreos or the chocolate chips, and you don't want that. Once the Oreos and chocolate chips are completely folded in, then it's time to get your 9x13 baking sheet. Now I sprayed all four sides and the bottom with baking spray, as well as put down parchment paper. You could also line your 9x13 pan with foil if you'd like, and then make sure you spray that so it doesn't stick to the bottom. Now that the mixture is spread out pretty evenly, we are going to put it in a 325-degree oven to bake for 25 to 30 minutes. Alright, so once you take these out of the oven, let them cool and cut them into bars. This is what they'll look like. I obviously had a piece for quality control. You can see here that the Oreos and chocolate chips that we put in here look fairly well combined in there. You can get a delicious Oreo bite with every single bite that you take. And like I said, this is just a fun way to incorporate some of those limited edition Oreos, but if you would rather use regular Oreos or completely get rid of the food dye, that's completely fine. But these will be fun for just another twist.